Okay, last screencast for this activity. In this one, I want to show you how to use databases more effectively and to go over some search strategies that you can use to help narrow down your research. Um, Things that I want you to get familiar with using are these Boolean operators, doing a subject search versus a keyword search, because they both have some pros and cons. Knowing how to search specifically for a title as opposed to doing keyword searches, or knowing how to search for an author, or knowing how to search specifically for a journal that articles might be published in. I want to show you a couple of tricks about getting broader results with the keywords you're using, and make sure you know which boxes to check to get all the results you need, how to cite sources, and then what the abstracts really are. So these are things you should know. If you know them already, that's good. It's probably worth checking in case the database has changed. So follow along, and I'll try to walk through just a sample search looking for articles, and I'm going to show you books as well. I usually start off by just typing in the Poudre Library website, go there, and I like to start off my research by looking for books, because those are, again, the most comprehensive kind of source you're going to find. So say I'm researching, we'll say zoos, and looking into the ethics of keeping animals locked up in zoos. So I've got the Poudre website, the Poudre Library, and you can pick up books from this library in either Harmony Library at the Front Range campus or Council Tree Library or Old Town. You can get them delivered to any of these three locations. So first thing I want to do is check this nonfiction box to narrow it down to make sure you're only looking at actual books that aren't fictional books. And then you can look through here and see if any of these books are going to match what you're looking for. So type in your search terms, look for it, see what you get. And if you're looking and you're noticing, none of these seem to have anything to do with ethics, you might go to the advanced search and do zoos and use the Boolean operator and say zoos, and we'll say ethics. And one thing you can do is, if you're not sure whether to type ethics, ethic, ethical, etc., what you can do is just type in the beginning of the word that you're looking for and put a star after it. So that's what's called a truncated search term, is you just truncate your word, put a star there, and then it will give you everything, either ethic or ethics, ethical, ethically. So I'm going to do the same with zoos. And then I'm going to hit search. See what we get. And it looks like there's 17 books. 13 of them are in the nonfiction. So some of these actually look kind of interesting. A book on environmental ethics, that might have some articles or chapters in it dealing specifically with what you need. So I'd hit place hold and select Poudre Library as the library you're with, enter your library code, and get it delivered to wherever you're closest. If you're searching for articles or books and in the book section you're not getting what you need, try hitting this prospector button and it'll take you to all of the libraries in Colorado, and it'll broaden your search. Just keep in mind that if you find one you want, give yourself plenty of time to request the book, and it takes 1 to 2 weeks to get those books in, but it's free, and they're often faster than the 1 to 2 week suggestion, but keep in mind it does take a little bit longer. So plan ahead if you're planning on using Prospector. And that's really all I wanted to say about the book search. So now I want to talk a little more about how to do the database searches in a way that'll maybe find more sources than what you've been finding before. I'm going to go into Academic Search Premier. Okay, so here I am in Academic Search Premier, and I blipped through the library entry piece, entering my library code. So here is, we're going to keep looking for zoos, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the advanced search because it gives you more options. I'm going to do zoos or zoo, and I also want to enter in ethics, and I don't know if I want ethics or ethically or ethic, so I'm going to type that, and maybe I want to try to add a Boolean operator. I might eventually want to type in not something if I keep getting articles on zoology or zookeeping businesses. I might type not business. I'm not going to do that now until I see what I'm getting. Also, make sure to check the full text box, and if you're looking only for scholarly sources, check this box as well. If you want to also get magazines, newspapers, leave this unchecked to get as many as you can. So you could also, if you want to say specifically you only want periodicals or books, then you could check one of these publication types as well. I'm going to leave it as it is for now. Let's see what we get. The future of zoos, animal geographies. Okay, so this one's ethical debate. We're getting some sources that looks like they're not directly addressing my question, but maybe this one's getting closer. Moral judgment on animal and human ethics issues between. Okay, so this doesn't look directly connected, but it's close. And what I can do is for articles that are close, I can click into it and then look for the subject terms. And this one is going to have judgment ethics, which is close, but none of these are quite hitting what I'm looking for. So I'm going to click back out of it. I might go all the way back up and see what this one is categorized as. Yeah, so here, now we're getting close. Subject term, zoos, moral and ethical aspects. So that looks, so we might have two different subject terms to try. So I'll right click on this one, and it's not going to let me do that, so I'm just going to click it. And so now we've only got one article categorized under that subject. And that's sort of a dumb category if it only includes one article. But usually they'll have, once you find the right category, they'll have every article under that subject area. So if you have animal psychology, and this, say the subject term matches what you're researching, you can click there and it will give you every article categorized under animal psychology, which apparently is just this one. Broaden it back up. What if we replace zoo with animal and do something more like looking for animal ethics? Now we're getting much more sources. Here we go. This one looks like it's pretty closely related to the research question. So now I could say if animal ethics isn't quite right, I could notice they have a whole category of animal rights. Now I can click here and get every single article categorized under animal rights. So there's 1900 categorized under that. I could also look at values and ethics. This is going to give me anything connected to ethics, so it's a lot of articles. Human-animal relationships, that might be another category to look in for addressing your issue question. But the key thing to keep in mind is that you want to use your keywords to find the right keywords. And sometimes you can use the keywords to lead you to subject terms that will lead you to better articles. And then once you have the right subject term, you can at least see what all is published here. Now, if you're struggling with Academic Search Premier and you're not finding what you're looking for, what you might do is start with another database, go to maybe JSTOR, this arts and sciences one, is a good second database to try if you're not finding good articles in the academic search Premier. So then I could try animals and ethics. And what you get here is just that a different bank of articles. And this one, it looks like it has some good articles involved here. And you can use these subject terms here to help sort down from the pool of 19,000 articles. You can help narrow that list. One other thing I wanted to show you is, say you're in the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy and you found an article, so we'll say animal ethics, do a search for that, and say we'll go into environmental ethics as a good start. Say you've read this article and you realize, ooh, here's a really good source I want to look into, by this Jamison. Animal liberation is an environmental ethic. One thing you can do is copy the title and take it to your databases, go to the home page, click the advanced search, paste the title into the search bar, and then do search for an item title. And then you can tell really quickly if a database has the article you're looking for. So we were looking for a piece on animal liberation, and it didn't look like it found the title. So we could try it again in Academic Search Premier. And if that doesn't work, sometimes, if you're lucky, you can paste it into Google, and occasionally you can find a whole text in Google that way. And that's definitely an acceptable way of finding sources, especially if they give you the publication information. And then scroll down to the bottom. A lot of times, if it's a website, they might have information on the publisher there. So that's one way to track down sources. So if you know, say you're looking for anything published by Jamison D, type that into the search bar, change it to an author search, and see if anything by this author has been published here. And then it'll give you anything published by Jamison D. Now there might be a bunch of Jamison D's, so you'll still have to do some searching to find the right articles. And you can do the same thing in about any database. That, do a search, and see what you get. So we're getting a lot of the wrong names here. So it doesn't look like he's published in JSTOR, but that's okay. And one last little trick I wanted to show you is that, say you do find an article that you want to use. Say this one you want to use, Humans and Animals, a Few Moral Considerations. And you're like, great, you can get the PDF full text here. You can download it. The other thing you can do is use these buttons all the way on the right to email articles to yourself, print them. You can store them in the folder, although you have to create an account and it becomes kind of a hassle. You can also cite it from within Academic Search Premier. So you click the citation button, scroll down to MLA, copy this, and then open up your Word document, and you can paste it. Now, of course, you have to fix it because it's going to paste it completely wrong. So change the font, change the tabbing and everything like that to get it double spaced and spread out correctly. Really, you don't need that stuff. So there. Now you've got your MLA citation right out of the website, and should save you a little bit of time citing sources. Okay, so I think we've covered everything. We've got Boolean operators, the ands, ors, etc., and I believe that's it. So thank you for checking in.